Hello, everyone. Welcome to Confidence Leads to Success with me, Elif Köse. I'm going to talk about stress today. Did you know that stress is the health epidemic of the 21st century, according to the World Health Organization? So, 43% of us, all adults, suffer adverse health effects from stress, and 75 to 90% of all physicians' office visits are for stress related complaints. So, what happens is the stress costs employers an estimated of, according to these results, like almost 250 billion pounds annually. And it also creates lower productivity, healthcare costs, and employee turnover. So there are so many modalities that you can apply to help you with your stress. But today I am interviewing this phenomenal woman who is an expert. Beverley Densham is a mindfulness Pilates teacher, and she also helps everyone to work through the stress, to calm. And I am so excited to have you here. Hi
Oh,
there.
thank you so much for having me.
It is so good to have you here. And I must say, so many of us, and whoever I speak to, all my clients to, we always come down to the stress. And having you here is a real blessing, because I would love you to, first of all, tell us, like, what is the definition of stress?
I think we could be here all day talking about the definition of
Just
stress.
a very short,
Yeah,
like, because, like,
yeah,
some people don't even realize they're stressed.
yeah. I think stress is people's response to something that's hurting them in some way. It can be mentally, emotionally, physically, and it's causing some sort of pain or dis-ease. So it can be an overwhelm, anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
It can even lead towards other mental health problems such as, depression. It can it can completely floor people, whether that's a student or whether that's somebody at work, and it's causing problems in their happiness, in their personal
Blood
lives, in
pressure, like
their
heart
professional.
rate.
Pardon?
It could be like blood pressure, it could, if it could
Yeah,
affect your
yeah,
heart.
because those statistics you just gave, Dr. Rangan Chatterjee, who's one of my favorite authors, and he's a doctor, one of my favorite authors. And he was saying on his podcast that, like, those statistics are very real. So he said, as a doctor, 90% of what they're seeing is stress related. So I think the world is taking it more seriously. But I mean, you really did dig out some fantastic statistics there, that actually, he was saying, Dr. Rangan Chatterjee was saying, that it really has to be the number one thing to address. Actually, of course,
That's right.
everything is important, and if somebody needs an ambulance or to go to hospital for a physical thing, of course, but so many things are attributed to that at the core. So
And it comes down to stress. So if you could kind of stop that happening by managing your stress level, I think that's the one of the very important steps, I would say.
yeah, you can't always stop some of the stress, but you can reduce the reaction to it. So, for example, the lawyers that I work with, for example, they've got some very difficult, cases coming through the door, and families in real difficulty and going through court hearings, and very difficult times. And so that's very difficult to handle. But if they have tools in place to, life is like the waves of the sea. There are good times, challenging times, sad times of life. And what you can do with those challenging moments and those peaks of stress is you can reduce it in the first place by having preventative tools that you use, but also you can use tools before, working through stress to calm tools before and also after, to recover from, but also to cope better and be stronger and more resilient for those stresses. And some of them don't become stresses anymore because you are looking after yourself, with your well-being,
Mhm.
and mental health by putting things in place to help you individually as well as, companies as well.
Yeah, lovely. So what would you say some of the common symptoms of stress that people like repeatedly have it that they should really pay attention to actually get some help with it?
Well, most people wouldn't think this is the first thing, but having a monkey mind that's got 100 things going on and you're overwhelmed by, you were saying before we came on the call today, you've got loads of tabs open on the computer and the
That's
mind
right.
can feel as many as you've got many tabs going on as that. But then that can lead to sort of overwhelm and a feeling of not not being not on form or not being able to cope. It can lead to anxiety, can lead to panic, can lead to panic attacks. Obviously, there can be even more things going on that if things are unhealed. When there have been some very difficult things happening, of course, then then the stress is even more exacerbated. I mean, it can even be from divorce, it can be from moving house, it can be from moving area, it can be from bereavement, but let alone just everyday stress at the workplace. For
Mhm.
some people have jobs that they love like us, and we just can't wait to get through the door. And we're, with you're empowering, with the fashion and the confidence coaching and the breath work, and it's a joy to get to the to the next
Mhm.
thing that you're doing or I'm doing. But that it isn't like that for everyone, that they can't, just looking forward to every minute of the day of their work. That is not
Yeah, of
how it
course. I mean, I don't
typically
always feel
is.
fully motivated. There are days that I
Yeah,
actually feel lower, and those
yeah.
are the moments that I pay attention to my feelings, and I feel that I need to give myself a bit of time before I have a heart attack.
Yeah, well, it's, I mean, oh, I was reading, I just wonder if I've got the book with me. Have I brought it along today? I haven't brought it along, but there's a brilliant book by Dr. David Hamilton, and wow, it really, it helps us look after our heart, our physical heart better if we're less stressed. And I think one of the statistics from his book, one of his books, is I think about how many years longer you live if you have a happier, if you're in a happier place. And the statistics are quite incredible on it. We will live longer at the end of the day. We will live a happier, healthier life, and health is wealth.
Yeah, I mean, you have come a long way. I mean, knowing a bit of your background, like from where you are to where you get to, and how you found your passion to help people to actually go through these stress levels and help them. It's really inspiring. Would you share with us like some of the formulas that you have discovered? Why is you helping yourself that you got into passion to help others?
Yeah, I think what inspired it, I think I've personally experienced a lot of mental, emotional, physical pain myself, and rock bottoms. I hope it's okay to share a little bit about that, because I think it does help when you know that someone understands the pain and stresses that people go through. From the mindfulness Pilates side, which is a stress to calm tool as an exercise technique, in itself. I got into that because of back pain and back problems. And after quite a bad road traffic accident in Australia, in Cairns, northern Queensland, I had never encountered mental pain like it. I mean, I I had to have. I was hit by a car cycling to work one day, and my helmet head smashed the windscreen, and my wrist shattered on the bonnet, and I landed on the road. And I remember being motionless there. But the physical pain was through the roof. But the mental pain, what I wasn't expecting, and you don't know what it's like until you experience it. The mental pain, the stress can come from an accident. So the stress afterwards, the mental, emotional stress was through the roof. It was, having flashbacks of that accident. If I saw somebody without wearing a helmet on the road, I'd get
Oh
so
wow.
angry and so upset, and then next minute I'd be reliving that accident, and I'd be having a panic attack, and I didn't. I didn't even know what a panic attack was at the time. And you just, your breathing is the anxiety and the overwhelm, and it's that you're in this terrible cycle until you break the cycle. And it ended up with post-traumatic stress disorder and depression and chronic fatigue. And I ended up with a sort of, I suppose, a deep empathy for wanting to make a difference with people's physical pain with their backs. That's what I became well known for in the Pilates. And then on the stress side of things, this is the 25th year of teaching this year. I did recover from that, and I found ways to heal from the accident, so I wasn't repeatedly going into that vicious cycle. I was keeping going. The vicious cycle was cut. Did different things, but it was the mindfulness Pilates that sort of helped more long term, and also immediate as well, because I think it gave me a passion to, this has helped me mentally and physically, and I'd like to help other people with this. And it grew into studios that I had for 16 years, and now I have a Zoom studio. But it's a wonderful thing when you find tools that work. And I had a lawyer come to me this year, approached me to teach them, wanted to book in one-to-one because of stress. So I said, yeah, of course you can book in, but they only actually needed a 3-week one-to-one program, and then to go into classes for maintenance. And now she's so much stronger and more resilient, and really pleased with the results. But it's like brushing your teeth. You have to keep using the tools. You can't be like, oh yeah, I've done my workshop, I've done my class, I've learned how to do that thing, and then you don't pick the thing up again. And that, because you have to keep, if you want clean teeth and not go to the dentist too often, you've got to brush your teeth. And
Yeah, that's a really good example.
Yeah,
I
and
love it.
Yeah, and it's the same with your mental health. Your mental health, and you have
You don't
to look
just say, I've
after it.
healed now, I don't need to do any more work and give up on it. You have to keep on working on it.
Yeah, you have to put in the work. But the thing I think people love about what I teach is I teach 7 1-minute tools. It can be at the desk, it can be at the desk on Zoom, it can be for a whole company or one person. So I'm now teaching Anna's whole law firm, and their stress levels in their first, I think we did 45 minutes on their first class, and then from now on it's be 30 minutes because they like all the science, add all the science and benefits into it. And their stress levels reduced between 40 and 75% in 45 minutes. And overall,
That's incredible.
yeah, and the average is 56% reduction in overall in the law firm. And so it shows, these are quite typical results, and it just shows you that you have to get in there and do the thing, and then you go back to work or go off home for the day.
That's amazing. That's a massive change. You must be very pleased with the results.
Yeah, really pleased with the results. And there's sort of 7 1-minute tools combined together, I find gets the best results. So combining breathing, meditation, which is great. It's recommended, as you know, it's recommended by doctors these days, which is really great. Mindfulness as well is recommended for by doctors for mental and physical health. So I do a minute of that for them at the desk, sitting. Equally, it's inspiring. Some of the lawyers I work with, inspiring them to teach their clients before a stressful court hearing or something. But equally, anyone can use these tools. I teach the affirmations, how to use positive affirmations.
Yes, they're amazing. I've got a set deck of them.
You have. Should we pick everyone for the podcast today one?
Should we pull one?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Do you want to pull it, or do you want me to go get my ones? My ones are upstairs.
We'll go for these then, shall we?
Yeah.
Best card for you on the podcast today. The idea is you can pick a card. I think that's one. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one. It says, I enjoy a favourite memory. I close my eyes, remember a happy memory. I am good at this.
I am. I love that.
So you can close your eyes and think of a lovely, happy memory now.
So anyone's listening without the video, we have just picked the card, one of Beverley's beautiful happy cards. I've got them. They're amazing. It helps you with journaling, which I sometimes, run out of ideas what to write, but it's good to write, do the journaling. And we just pulled the card, and what was it again?
I enjoy a favorite memory. So the idea is just to close your eyes just for a moment and think of a happy memory,
Yeah,
and just take a few moments just to daydream about that happy memory. Then
yeah.
you can either enjoy it for yourself, or you can share a happy memory with someone else. And then once you've done that, slowly open your eyes. Did you get a
That's
happy memory?
Yeah, actually, I always seem to go back to my childhood, and I actually often go to my high school years because I had really good friendships, and I still am really close with my high school friends. And I just realized now, becoming almost 40-year-old mother and multiple business owner, I've noticed that those were the years that for me were the easiest and happiest and calmest time. Although at the time I thought I had so much to think about because I was getting ready for university and all that, but everything was so easy thinking about it now. Having lost my father almost 5 years ago, my dad was there, and that's a really good memory. Coming
Oh,
back from school, I run up the stairs, and my mum opens, and the food is already on the table, and my brothers are running around. It's just such a beautiful memory. And my dad comes, and he always had this beautiful, warm, welcoming smile, and always would give us a hug and a kiss every
oh,
day. In the morning, in the evening, we were such a hugging, loving family. And so just remembering that is so beautiful, and it actually reminds me that my mind is so powerful that I can just feel and imagine anything that makes me happy and have it.
yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. My happy memory was going to the beach yesterday after work and going for a sauna on the beach with one of my client friends. It was just new friends,
Lovely.
and going in the sea and counting to 120 and then just running out. It was very fun.
I admire you doing that. It's wonderful. Honestly, Beverly, it's been a great pleasure to have you here. Thank you for joining us and sharing your expertise and your experience.
That is all right.
It's been great, ladies. Beverley Densham is a mindfulness Pilates teacher of 24 years, and she's an author. She graduated from the University of Brighton with a degree in sports science and became a Pilates teacher. So she knows what she's talking about. She's had her fair share of difficulties in life, gone through so many things, and she's now helping you to find that calmness, and working through your stress. And if you want to find out about her, just go through the show notes, and you'll find all the details about her and her beautiful gifts for you. Thank you for joining. Thanks, Bev.
Thank you so much.
Bye.